Hello friends, today we will be discussing about the constitutionality of UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. This act is in the limelight for a quite long time because of its misuse and abuse. This is assuming more importance in the context of these three girls in Delhi, um, Natasha and two more girls. There is a Delhi High Court judgment in a bail petition that it has made it very clear that mere protest per se is not amounting to terrorist activities, and police should not file under ordinary protesters under this stringent UAPA Act. That observation has had gained national importance. Fortunately or unfortunately, Supreme Court has gone on record to say that this version has been stayed, but the bail has not been cancelled. That has not been interfered. Now we do not know what sort of judgment will come from the Supreme Court, but even after the bail has been ordered, I came to know that they have not been released for a quite long time. By this time, I am not sure whether they have been released. But we also come to know shocking facts that even many juveniles, though they are juveniles, they have been ordered by the JJB to be released, but they are also kept in jail for a quite long time. This is very unfortunate. And people are also being charged in the outdated laws or repealed or struck down laws, such as Section 66A of Information Technology Act. Now, why I am telling you all these things? We should have a different law for different offences, because mere all unlawful activities should never become terrorist activities. That's the very important things. You have clubbed both. That's the big problem now. So the police may not have the right sort of knowledge, so they brand everyone as a terrorist. When you have a clear-cut law, itself is not being followed. When the law itself is very ambiguous and vague, one need not explain the state of affairs. That is what I would like to point out in this particular program is concerned. Now let us go back to the history of this UAPA, how it has come. This has come by a way of resolution passed by the National Integration Council under the chairpersonship of the then Prime Minister Srimati Indira. In 1967, the Parliament has passed this act. Within few years, it has been amended. I think it has been amended up to 7 times. The last one happens to be in 2019. So those who are preparing for competitive exams, including civil service and other public service exams, you should keep in mind that this amendment is criticized on 3 grounds. One, as per the 2019 amendment, an individual can be designated as a terrorist. What is this? This is amounting to Bill of Attainder, a concept which has been guaranteed in the Bill of Rights in the US, and it has been implicitly guaranteed under Article 21, because without a fair trial is a fundamental right, and without a fair trial you will not have any punishment. One should not be punished. It goes against the basic tenets called audi alteram partem. That means no one shall be condemned without being heard. Without giving an opportunity of other party, opposition party, you shall not condemn them, you shall not punish them. But this law violates all these basic tenets. So thereby you have made the wholesale and retail selling of entire criminal jurisprudence, for which Malimat has also been strongly criticized at once upon a time when he was to introduce these sort of recommendation in his criminal reforms. But today it has been done. There is no huge opposition for that. Of course, you would have seen a speech delivered by Maiva Mitra, a Trinamool Congress MP. She was strongly voicing against this in the Lok Sabha debate. How these individuals are getting designated? People are citing Maulana Azad. That is in an international law scenario. International law and municipal law are totally put on a different footing, different grounds, and different actions are required. You cannot compare one with another at all. Very unfortunate. That is a Security Council resolution, popularly known as Taliban Committee resolution, which has authorized the Security Council to declare a person as a terrorist, globally designated terrorist. That is totally different. You cannot designate your own citizens. There is a procedure available for that under CRPC. The court have a greater role in declaring certain people as a proclaimed offender. There are a lot of safeguards available. So without the judiciary's involvement, you are designating somebody as a terrorist. It's a very, very unwelcomeable tendency. I'm not sure this will be supported by the constitutional lawyers. This suffers in many constitutional infirmity, including the fair trial provision, right to dignity, and principles of natural justice, strongly embedded under Article 14, 21, 20, etc. This is very important. Second is that the bail provision, and along with that, there is one more thing, that the officer who can carry investigation happens to be previously the Deputy Superintendent of Police, DYSP. Now that has been reduced on the ground that there is no adequate manpower is available. So it has been reduced to the rank of inspector. This is very unfortunate, people claim it. The third one is that previously, prior to 2019 amendment, if NIA wants to conduct a raid, search, seizure, all these things in a particular state, they have to seek permission from the DGP of the concerned state. Now that has also been done away with that. I don't know whether it's good or bad. People call it is against federalism. Now let us come back. How this law has been misused. Previously, TADA, POTA has been misused, and that is why it has been repealed. Actually, TADA was allowed to lapse because there was a sunset clause in TADA. POTA has been repealed by the parliament. After repealing, these terrorist activities have been brought under the UAPA. There was an amendment in 2008, 2013, substantially made the UAPA as the frontline weapon or legal weapon against the terrorist. Now 2019 has made more stringent. Whether that should survive or not, that's the question now. Now people have to challenge this. People have brought notice that it has been misused quite a lot. And I hope that the fate of TADA and POTA should equally applicable, because that law was not that much stringent as it is existing today. So a lesser worse form of law has been allowed to repeal. This has not been struck down by the courts. That is certainly, that I have to mention it to you. But I believe that this is the time for the Supreme Court to step in, and they should declare these laws unconstitutional, because it is very vague. There is a landmark case called Indra Das versus State of Assam. People have been booked under UAPA as terrorists just because they are possessing some literature. Today, anyone can make you any file into your system without your knowledge. Some files can be put in your system, in your mobile phone. Therefore, people can arrest you because you are possessing these sort of literature electronically. This is very unfortunate. I hope good sense prevails sooner rather than later. Thank you all. Jai Hind. God bless you.